Hi all, welcome back from vacation. I hope everyone had a great time. In this video I'm going to go over how to create a text file and write information to it, and how to read and open our existing text file and read text from it. Down here in Phase File Creator, this uses some syntax that I knew from earlier to create a text file. But then I noticed that the book uses different classes. So up here are the classes that the book uses. There are a lot of classes related to files in Java, and those change as Java has developed. But so it's a rich area. But let's focus on what you have in the book. So we import Java I/O stuff and Java util stuff. And then we have a class called Phase File Creator 2. It has in it an array list of strings and a scanner object text entry down here. In the constructor, we actually make those objects. So we make the array list and the scanner object. Then we have a method called createFile, which takes in the file name, which we'll supply, and the number of entries that we want to put into the file name. In the method, we start off saying Boolean success equals false. This is a common pattern. Right? If only if we're successful, we change success to true. If number entry is greater than 0, this is just some error checking. Try. Okay, so now we use Java's try-catch terminology structure to trap for errors that could occur at runtime. For things like it's unable to write the file. So this is different from like logic and errors or syntax errors. These are errors, would be runtime errors related to the program unable to correctly communicate with the larger world, in this case the file system. Okay, so we try to make a new print writer object called writer, new print writer, and with the file name that we've supplied. So if that's successful, we're good. And the catch will not be executed. Now, for the number, we have a loop for the number of entries that outputs enter phrase I of however many entries. Then we actually use the scanner class text entry to get a new line, trim off any white space at the end, and add that to the array list. Then we're going to take that array list and using the print writer object, we're going to call a method it has called println, which works just like the println that you know and love. And except it writes it to, instead of to the screen, it writes it out to the text file. So it's going to write those phrases out to the text file with a line feed between each one. Right? They'll each be on their own line because of the println. Right, then we close the file. You always want to remember to close the file because of the operating system will use a buffer so it doesn't have to keep moving the hard drive, right? And so the information was written to the buffer first, and then when enough is accumulated, it's written to the hard drive. The close makes sure that the buffer is, anything left in the buffer is actually written to the hard drive. So you always want to make sure that you close your files. And success equals true, and we return success. So I just happen to have one of these down here. And we will create a file called cows. I don't know why. I seem to be into cows today. 3. And enter phrase 0 of 3. So cows are cool. Maybe, I don't know. Cows are many colored. Well, brown and white and black. Maybe some reddish. Cows are large. Okay, no problem there. This tells me that it correctly created that file. So now let's look at the reader file. Same imports. We same, we create a scanner object again, and an array list. It's going to hold those phrases as it reads them from the file. Here we actually make the new objects in the constructor. Same pattern as before. We set success to false. Okay, so here we say file. We have a file object which we're going to call f, which we attach to a new file, or we make a new file object, which we store in the file variable f, using the file name that we supply. We make a new scanner object. And in this case, instead of scanning from system.in, which is what we've done with scanner before, which takes from the keyboard, in this case we're going to be pulling from the file, f. Okay. And while that file has a next line, then we're going to pull that line, phrase file next line, we'll pull it and add it to the phrases array list. And when we're done doing that, when the while loop fails because there is no next line, we'll drop down and we'll close the file. Remember, always close your file. We'll say success equals true. And then just to make sure everything worked, we'll output whatever we input into the array list down here. And this is the catch in case it was unable to find the file and open it. And we'll return success. So I also happen to have one of these. And we will supply the name of our file, cows. And you can tell from this isn't the first time I've done it. So what it actually did here is I attempted to make this video a few minutes ago, but had some audio problems, so I remade it. So it actually took the existing, I don't know why I did that. As I say this, well, it doesn't matter. It read this from the file successfully, and let's just try that one more time. I'm curious. We'll make a new one. And we'll do cows. Okay, close. I don't know why I did that before. That was odd. Something about reusing that one file, that object that I'd already used. But there it is. Cows come in many colors. Cows make milk. Cows are big. Oh, interesting. That's not what I wrote. That's very curious. All right, now I'm really curious. So let's start from scratch. We'll make a single change here, so we have to compile. We compile. New phrase creator. I'm not going to go through the code. I'm just going to do this again. Cows 3. Cows are fun. Cows are cows. Cows are not horses. Cool. Close. Now we'll do the reader. Oops. Make a new phrase file reader. And we'll tell it cows. And cool. So I'm not sure exactly what was going on before, but nothing serious. He says somewhat skeptically. But I think you get the idea here. So what you need to do is integrate this code into your version of Magpie so that phrases that the user enters while interacting with Magpie can be available to Magpie in future runs of the program, so that the random responses that Magpie makes are more varied and interesting. Okay, Any questions, get in touch. But I think you have everything here to work on the program. And remember, we have a quiz on text files on Friday. Thanks.